Hello everybody, my name is Jonathan and welcome to Bearly Unboxed. Today we are looking at the new Rainbow High Watercolor and Create dolls. I have all three of them. I ordered these directly from MGA and I will put a link in the description box below if you want to get these. I believe these are also available on Amazon right now. And possibly Walmart, but I haven't really seen any indication that they'll be at Target yet. Target still has the first series of these, which were just called Color and Create. I just saw those today at a Target. They had all three of them. So if you want to pick those up, I definitely suggest picking those up soon because these are the new thing and they might replace them. So anyway, these are kind of interesting. They all have completely different outfits. This one has like purple lavender eyes, and she comes with a skirt and like a hoodie and some boots, but then she also comes with a t-shirt and some like combat boots, which are actually really cool looking. And these come with these like washable colors, and it shows you on the side you can make like tie-dye, like using rubber bands, and this is the example they give. Now unfortunately I've seen, and there's the other two that we have. Unfortunately, I've seen some people use these on Reddit, and the colors that they're achieving aren't even close to being this bright. So we're going to see what happens today when we try that out. Now, first though, I'm just going to unbox all of them, and then we're only going to do the coloring one time just to see how it works. I don't want to do coloring on every single one of them. It would just take so long. But I do want to try it out on different things. So let's take a real quick look at this one. This one has like teal eyes, and she actually has bangs. And she comes with like pants and like a polo. And then her second pair of shoes are like some sort of like high-heeled sandal, but she also comes with the same t-shirt as the other one. They all come with that same t-shirt, but a different second pair of shoes. And as you can see, her shoes she's wearing are sort of similar to these, but they're not as open looking. It's kind of interesting. So then we have the brown-eyed girl here, and I think she might be my favorite just as far as like her outfit. She has this like tiered skirt and like a little halter top, and she has brown eyes, which are really pretty. And I really love the example that they give you of her where the dress is different colors. She comes with some high heels with bows on them, and then some like kind of high tops. And then the same shirt. And these shirts say Rainbow High Atelier. I think it's Atelier. I don't know how to pronounce that word. It's Atelier, I believe. And if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. So these are going to not have the wrist articulation, which you can see in the box. Their hands do not have wrist articulation. So these are definitely using the new bodies that were started with the slime dolls. So it's a little disappointment there because these dolls are just so pretty. This one even has freckles, which we'll look at when we get her out. So I'm going to go ahead and unbox these one at a time, and we'll take a look at them as I do that. So we have her without the window in the way, and you can get a really nice look at her face and her freckles. She's really cute. It does come with instructions right here, and this is substantial. It's very heavy, I think, because these colors come in a hard plastic, possibly. All right, so I'll finish getting her out of here and then we'll take a look. Okay, so we have her out of the packaging, and my first impressions are that she's really cute. I love her outfit. Now, she has a lot of stuff that comes with her. She does have box hair right now, so you can see that the scalp is painted white, which is nice for having the white hair. Now, she also comes with part of her hair already braided, which is really cool. There is hair gel in the hair, so that is going to need washed out. But look at her beautiful face. She has really small, tiny little freckles. She has the brown eyes, and her lip color is really natural red, kind of like lip gloss looking. She comes with a halter top. It does Velcro in the back, and it's a separate piece than the skirt. The skirt is all one piece, and it's kind of made out of like a silky fabric. It feels kind of nice, actually. It doesn't allow for very much leg movement, but as far as articulation goes, she does have the head tilt and turn, the elbow articulation, the ball jointed shoulders. She has the double jointed knees, and she has the leg articulation at the hip. She does not have the upper thigh articulation or the hand articulation. So these are using the new Rainbow World, like rebooted doll bodies. Other than that, I'm really happy with how she looks. She's so adorable. Now, she can stand on her own, as you can see, which is a good thing because she doesn't come with a stand like most of the other dolls do. She does come with this Rainbow High branded comb that you've seen before. This is the old style comb, which in the Rainbow World slime dolls, they have the different comb that for like scooping and stuff. So she also comes with this Rainbow High Atelier t-shirt. She also comes with these really cool like high top boots that have like printed, molded in heart and star charms, and it also says RH. And then on the other side there's nothing. And they have really cool soles. She also came with all the different dye colors, which I haven't opened yet, but these are like a powder, it looks like. So you can mix them together. And for that, they give you this really pretty glitter spoon that does have an RH on the top here. It's hard to see with all that glitter. It's like a scoop on this end, and then this end is like a stir stick. So I'm assuming you scoop that out and then you stir it up in this. They also provided a little Rainbow High branded like mixing tray, and then also they gave you a Rainbow High branded brush, which actually feels nice, and then it has this little removable removable sponge tip, and they gave you an extra sponge tip as well. And also a milliliter marked measuring cup, which I'm assuming the instructions will explain all this. And then also she came with some elastics and this stencil with a heart, star, and a lightning bolt. So that's pretty cool. So here's the instructions, and it looks like the instructions just show you this particular doll with the violet eyes is the one that's shown in the instructions. So there's quite a bit of instructions here. So let's see, what does it say? Okay, so the color must be allowed to air dry before applying more color to prevent smearing and to prevent color from being transferred to other fabrics or furniture, etc. Allow items to dry only. Do not subject the excessive heat. Make sure they are completely dry before storing. So it sounds like they say that you can leave the color in the clothes or on the shoes before, and just as long as it's dry. Do not use color pigment powders other than those included with the product. Other color pigment powders may not be removable. Let's see. Store shakers, dolls, clothing, and accessories in a cool environment away from direct sunlight. Okay. Use color pigment powder included in the playset only on items in this playset and not on other fabric or furniture. If it gets on clothing, wash immediately with water and soap. Color may not wash completely from certain materials or be removed from surfaces that cannot be laundered. Do not use color pigment powder on dolls' nails? Is that what that says? Okay. Well, that's interesting. Do not use color pigment powder... Or, I'm sorry, I already read that one. It's such a tiny print. Rinse the duo-ended brush and bowl in water and allow to dry thoroughly before storing. Wash with hands with soap and water after using the powders. Definitely keep away from eyes and lips, it says. Color intensity may depend on child's hair color, so results may vary. So you can use this pigment powder on your own hair. I believe you can like use the sponge and put it in your own hair. So that's interesting. It says that they advise you to test before applying in a small portion of hair. And to wash your hair several times so the color rinses out. So that's interesting. And it says to not leave it on your hair or skin for more than 3 hours because otherwise it might stain. So I'm wondering if it stains the clothes. I know the first series of these used markers, and if you left it on the clothes or their hair too long, apparently it would stain it. So, oh, well, interesting. These are actually a shaker on the inside of these. Cool. The print on this is so tiny, it's really, really hard to read. So you can shake it out or you can scoop it out, which is why they gave you this scooper. It has instructions on how to do the tie-dye, how to dip it in the watercolor. Unfortunately, this type is so small that I am having a really hard time reading it. I really wish they would have printed that larger for my old tired eyes. So we're just going to experiment with it because at this point I can't read exactly what they want me to do, but I do want to open one of these right now to see what this powder looks like. And so they give you red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. They give you the whole rainbow. These are perforated, and they do have like a little color pigment powder label on here that you can peel off and read. So this cap just comes off, and then it does have a foil inside that you're supposed to peel. Okay. So as you can see, it does have like a little shaker on the top, but the shaker also has this so you can take it off and then you can just scoop the powder out. this powder is very pink. So it's not really red, it's more pink. And I'm not sure how much they want you to use of each thing, but as far as shaking it out goes, it doesn't shake out very well. And I'm getting powder everywhere, and it's really shimmery. Really, really shimmery, so that's kind of cool. So I do have some water here, and I'm just gonna fill up this from this. And we're gonna pour some of this in here. Wow, that is very non-existent. So I'm gonna use a little scoop on this. And of course I forgot paper towels because it wouldn't be my video. So there we can scoop some out and put it in this water. So this is very pretty. It's very shimmery. I will show you here. Can you see that on the camera at all? It's hard to show you without doing a top down, and I don't have that set up, unfortunately. Oh, and I just got it all over my hand. Isn't that lovely? Alright, so I'm going to try it on this shirt to start out with. I don't know. This does not mix up very well at all. It's really clumpy, and I'm like getting it everywhere. For some reason, I'm like splashing it everywhere. I'm going to put the lid on this before we spill it. Okay. So these are actually cool. They have an RH on the lid. See that? Each one has that on the lid, and it says rainbow on each side of it. So I like the packaging. It's very cool. All right, so I really wish this mixed up better. I'm making a mess, and I don't care because that's part of it. I'm going to use this brush to try to break up these ones that don't want to break up. Now, I will say, when it comes to the example, it is really, really vivid on this picture. Like, look at the doll we have. It's very, very pink. But this is very pastel pink. That's what it looks like with the amount of powder that I used. That is almost non-existent. So I'm wondering, like, do you have to use a lot of this powder? Like, I feel like I've already used quite a bit. I'm gonna just pour a bunch in. I feel like that's the easiest thing to do. And then use the brush to kind of mix it in. Let's try painting this on again. See, that's a little more pink. That's a little more pink. It's hard to see on camera. It's really disappointing, I will say. Now let me try it on the hair. So she does still have the hair gel in her hair. Alright, so there it is on her hair. It is a very, very pastel pink. And I'm kind of wondering, once that dries, what will that look like? I'm going to open up this purple one. Maybe the purple one is a little darker. Alright, let's see. I'm just gonna mix the purple right in with the pink. And that sprinkled out a lot easier than the red one did. So let's see if this mixes together. And we'll try some more on her hair. So you can kind of see that. Try it on my beard. It's just making it look slightly pink. I don't know. Can you see it? It's hard to see. Maybe if I used a different color than something that was the color of my skin, basically. So I gotta say I'm a little underwhelmed by these results. I'm gonna dip the whole shirt in here though. Okay, so there I dipped the whole shirt in this powdery liquid. It's really slimy, I will say that. Now, there is a spot here where the powder pigment of pink didn't quite mix in. So maybe you could do like a thing where you sprinkle the powder on. Let's just try that just to see. So I sprinkled it on the shirt and I'm just gonna kind of rub it in. Yeah, so you can definitely see that when you do that. But as far as the hair goes, it's kind of hard. Now they do show you using the sponge. So let's try it with the sponge on the hair. Oh, and then of course the sponge just falls right on the floor. Yeah, the sponge does not stay inside, like attached very well. The hair kind of catches it. So, I don't know. What do you think? Does that, I mean, it's pretty. It's just not quite what they're showing on the box. So, I'm going to rinse this out and we're going to try a different color. All right, so we got this all rinsed out. Now I'm going to try using green. So we're going to open this green one. I figure green is a much different color than the pink and the purple. And we're going to try this stencil out because the way they show it working, at least in two of the dolls, it doesn't show it on this Violet Eye doll. But the one we opened and this Teal doll, they have this on the hair. Like you can put stencils on the hair, and I don't believe that. That seems like it's not gonna work. So I figured we'll try the green. Now I did leave this dye on the shirt to kind of let it dry. It's really slimy though, and it's honestly, it's just not very vivid. It's kind of, it's disappointing. I didn't wash this with soap, and the pink didn't come all the way out of the sponge, but that should be fine. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dump. Wow, that was a lot. But maybe a lot is what we need right now. All right, now I'm gonna pour a little water in. And then I'm going to mix it. And I will say these pigments just, they don't want to stir in. And again, this green is very pastel. So this is the stencil that they include. There's also some hair ties in here that I'm assuming you can use on the hair, but they're showing that you use them to make tie-dye. So let's try that on this shirt with the green. So maybe we'll like twist it up. And these are really nice feeling elastics too. No particular order with that. I'm going to pour in a little more water. I've never really done tie-dye in real life. I think one time when I was younger. I know I had a bunch of old shirts when I was a teenager, and I think I tried tie-dyeing them, and it was a disaster. So I dipped that in the green, and I think you're supposed to let it completely dry before you unwrap it. So I'm gonna have to show that later on. I don't know how long it'll take for that to dry, and you're not supposed to heat anything up, so that's kind of annoying. Alright, so we got this green pigment, and honestly you can barely even see it on the sponge. Like, it's very pale. Now let's try doing a lightning bolt on her hair. Yeah, that's terrible. You can't even see it. Like, I will say, if I was a kid and I was given this, or I saved up my money, like allowance, or, you know, I did some odd jobs or something for people in my neighborhood, and I was playing with this, I'd be very disappointed. I mean, the doll itself is fine. It's adorable. I love the eye color and the way they did the makeup on the face. It's very simple. It's just the execution of this watercolor pigment powder. It's just, wow. I can't see this green at all. I've put so much pigment. Can you see any of that green? It's, yeah. The pink showed up pretty well. And I guess you're supposed to let it dry, and then you can like comb the hair and it's fine, but you can still wash it out later. I don't know. I gotta say, I'm very, very disappointed in that. Let's open the blue, because I can mix the blue into the green. Maybe that will make it stand out more. I don't know. I'm just like, the first series of these with the markers, those worked. Like, you would color it on the clothes and you could see it. It was evident. If you want to see that, I do have other videos if you haven't already seen them. I have 2 other videos where I show off the color in Create. But I end up dyeing them with RIT dye. Okay, again, this blue powder, the container makes it look really blue because the container is blue, but it is just, it's pastel. This stuff reminds me of the Pixie Sticks candy powder, or like the Wickham Sticks candy powder. Okay, I mixed the green and the blue together, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's like a teal now. Look at that. That's a really pretty color. So now that there's even more pigment in here, and who knows, I could be doing this all wrong. I couldn't really read the instructions because the typeface they use. They have this weird typeface, for one thing. And I've seen other people complain about it. And then it's also just super tiny. And I think I actually saw someone posting about how they could barely read the instructions. Yeah, this is not doing much of anything to her hair. Okay, so you can see it a little bit on camera. It's more evident in person. But yeah, that is not cool. I don't think this is working the way they intended it to. So we only have the orange and the yellow left. And oh, I forgot I had it in my beard. My beard's still damp. You can see the pink a little bit. So I'm going to open up these other two just so they're all opened. And I want to see how pale this yellow is because I'm expecting it to be barely even yellow. Okay, so it does have a little more pigment to it than the other ones. I'm going to just mix it in here. So that's the yellow. And again, these are all slimy. It's just kind of weird. So this is just going to make this even more green. And maybe now we'll be able to see it on her hair. I don't know. It's really pretty. It's got this shimmer to it, but I feel like once you start mixing it or putting it on, yeah, it's... Oh, I just lost the sponge in her hair because of all the hair gel. Oh my god. Okay. This is sort of a disaster. I'm not putting any on the braid because I don't want to have to wash the braid because it might mess it up. And I'm not looking forward to having to redo that braid. Okay, so now that I've put green, teal, and then this other yellowish green, you can finally see it. But again, it's barely there. It's not anything close to... Look at her hair in this. This is like vivid. I don't know. I haven't tried it on the shoes, so, and I'm not expecting it to do anything on the shoes. Like they're showing you doing like some elaborate color scheme on the shoes. And there is a lot of pigment in that. But this is what it looks like. And it's slimy. It looks like mucus. This is definitely not a fun toy. And I try to be very positive on my videos. But this is positively infuriating. Now, that's a little overreaction, but I am disappointed that these didn't work. So I think these dolls are definitely a good candidate if you want a white doll. Like a white themed doll. They're very beautiful, just the way they are. And then if you want, you could also use fabric dyes to dye the clothing permanently. You can also use fabric dye on the hair, which I've done in previous videos. RIT, just normal RIT dye, works really well on Rainbow High hair. I will say the RIT dye doesn't work as well on the original Color and Create clothes because they're meant to resist color to wash out, I think. So you might have to use a more powerful dye, but you definitely don't want to get that dye anywhere near the plastic skin because it will dye it. You can dye the shoes. That dye would either be RIT Dye More or iDye Poly, which is for like unnatural fibers, like more plasticky fibers. It works really well for that. All right, so The only one we didn't open was the orange, so I'm going to go ahead and open it just so it's open. Again, this is definitely not the results I hoped for, and it is exactly what I saw online when people were showing these off on Reddit, because I do follow the Rainbow High subreddit. I post on there sometimes. I've met some really cool people on there, and people are always sharing their Rainbow High dolls and different things they do with them, like customizing or restyling. So I'm going to just put some orange dye in here. And it definitely is very pastel orange, which they all have been. I definitely like the way this looks with the orange in it. It's sort of an interesting color. I don't know if you can see. It kind of just looks like, I don't know, shiny mucus. That's terrible. So I'm going to try some of this now, again, in her hair. And I mean, it's working for the most part. Her hair's kind of reminding me of strawberries with the pink and the green. So it's very pretty. Very pretty pastel. I love pastel colors, don't get me wrong. I think pastel colors are beautiful. It's just what they're showing the results to be is nowhere close to what they are. I don't know if you're supposed to use a lot more of this than they intend. Maybe that's what it is. But then it seems to get more slimy the more powder I put in here. Like, I don't know, maybe I should add a little more water. Well, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll dip the shirt in that. I do kind of want to see what the shirt will look like later on. But I don't think it's going to work as well as they intended for that either. So I'm going to get this all cleaned up, and then we're just going to open up these other two dolls and take a look at them. We're not going to do any of the color and create with them. But I do want to show them off, especially since this one with the teal eyes has tinsel in her hair. So tinsel in the hair only on the one, oddly enough. These other two do not have tinsel, and I don't know why that is either. It's kind of a bizarre choice. It seems like they kind of were a little all over the place with these. All right, time to clean up. So I got the other two out of their packaging, and now we can take a look individually. So this one I think is really cute, actually. She has this skirt that has a under like a double layer to, and it does have like the strap that goes through like a kind of like underwear to keep it in place. And then she actually does have braids in her hair as well. She has two of them in her pigtails, which is really cute. And they start from the top up here. And this is her adorable face. She also has very natural looking makeup and the violet eyes, and her lips are a little more pink. Now this hoodie is really cool because if you were to dye it with the powder, this Rainbow High logo would be very visible, because I don't think the powders dye that. I know actual clothing dye has a hard time dyeing those type of like screen printed kind of things. So she doesn't have an undershirt at all. It's just this hoodie, and the hoodie does Velcro in the back on the hood, just like all the other hooded sweatshirts that come with Rainbow High dolls. She has these really cool chunky boots. Like, look at that. Those are really cool. You could totally paint these with acrylic paint even and bring out all the details. Because as you saw earlier, the dye the watercolor dye just does not work very well. It's very disappointing. So she has all the same articulation as our brown-eyed girl did, so I'm not going to bother showing off that. And as you can see, they all will stand on their own. It just kind of bugs me that the legs don't have that upper thigh joint, because that helps a lot with posability. This one, her hair is a little heavy, so she's having a little hard time standing up. Now, she comes with these pair of shoes that have a lightning bolt molded into the sides on both sides, and it says Rainbow on the back. These are really cool. It does say right and left, which is nice. And then this doll, she has quite a bit of hair gel at the tips of her hair, and she, as you can see, she has tinsel that all kind of originates from the very top. There isn't any in the underneath parts, so you could probably pull that tinsel out if you didn't like it. I know a lot of people do pull the tinsel out. She does have bangs, which can be a little problematic on a doll because they never want to lay right. Now, they look a little choppy, but if you do this, they're actually pretty straight. So if you were to wash her hair, you can put some plastic wrap, like cling wrap, over the head and pull the bangs down and let it dry like overnight. Sometimes it takes a little longer since it is covering up the wet hair. And then you'll have really nice bangs. That's how I've done it on previous dolls. She has a pair of pants that do have pockets, and she has a polo shirt, and they both Velcro in the back. I really like this polo shirt, and it has an RH right here that's printed onto it. And she has a really cute face. She actually has really light eyebrows, which her bangs do cover. They're very light looking. Like they're almost not there. They're so lightly painted. I really like the natural lip color that she has. And she has the teal eyes. They do all have the white painted scalp, which is really nice for having the white hair, so you don't see the scalp through the hair. She has these really cool like loafers with straps, and they say RH on the strap buckle, and it has the soles. These are really, really cool shoes. I think all three of these dolls are adorable. So, and they do all stand, which is really great. And here are her other shoes. The heel on these is like textured, which is really cool. You can see that. And then it has little straps that say RH on them. So they're very similar. Oops. They're very similar to the one she has on. As far as like the strappy parts and stuff, but different enough that I do think that's really cool. So obviously you can mix and match all their clothes with each other. So if you get all three of these dolls, you can kind of give them the look you want. They're meant for you to name them yourself. It's when you create with them. So it's been a little while, and this has dried for the most part in her hair. It is really, really hard to see on camera. In person, the pink is a little more pink. The green is about the same on camera. So I will say, as far as the gimmick, if you want to call it that, the whole reason for these dolls being a customizable, creatable toy for kids, it doesn't work as well as I wish it did. So as far as these dolls for adults, you can buy them and you could dye them, and even if you wanted to dye them for your kid using like a permanent color, fabric dye is definitely something you could do. So that's definitely something I'm probably going to do. So keep an eye out on my Instagram in the near future, and you'll see all three of these with their own looks. And I'm not going to wash their hair for the and show it off in the video, but I will do like a quick hair wash on them. And when I do the hair dye, obviously, they'll get a really nice hair wash after the hair dye. So you will see what their potential could be if you want to dye them in the near future. I'm looking forward to that. I want to thank you guys for watching today, and I hope you enjoyed looking at these, even if it didn't quite work out the way I expected. I still think the dolls themselves are adorable. They're still well made. MGA is still making very well made designs, I think. Like the clothing is still very well made and put together, just not quite as extravagant as it used to be. And obviously they didn't really put a lot of effort into testing these so that at least they looked like they do on the box. Someone was pointing out that it's possible that these are done with Photoshop. If you want to get one of these and try it yourself, definitely try to have fun with it, but go into it knowing that you're probably not going to get these results. So, unless of course I did something completely wrong, and I will admit the type in here was so tiny I couldn't really read it. So you could definitely take a picture with your phone and enlarge it if you're having trouble reading it. I do that often. So hopefully you still enjoyed this look at these dolls. And if you're not yet a subscriber, please do hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications, so every time I put a video up, you'll be notified. And if you're looking for other ways to support me, definitely like the video, comment, and also down below in the description you'll see other ways you can support me on my Instagram and other socials, as well as memberships for YouTube, where you get early access to all my videos. And again, thank you guys. I love reading all your comments. Take care out there. Love you guys. Bye.